Testing.
Today is Monday, June 3rd, 2024. We're at the Green Ladle and we'll call the meeting to order at 5:31 p.m. with the Pledge of Allegiance. We will start committee member introductions with Councilor Harriman.
Scott Harriman, City Council Representative to the School Committee.
Donna Gallant, Ward 7.
Megan Hurd, Ward 6.
Craig Charpentier, Ward 4.
Elizabeth Eames, Ward 3.
Janet Bowden, Ward 2.
Phoenix McLaughlin, Ward 1.
Megan Parks at large.
Jake Langley, Superintendent.
Karen Paquette, Assistant Superintendent.
Our Ward 5 rep is excused absent this evening. Agenda item number 3 is the consent agenda. Are there any items on the consent agenda that members would like set aside? Seeing none, the consent agenda is adopted. Agenda item number 4 is public input. Members of the public may address the school committee for up to 3 minutes on non-agenda items now and on agenda items later. Comments that pertain to staff, personnel matters, or a student issue should be directed to the superintendent or the appropriate staff member of Lewiston Public Schools. Public comments shall be directed to the school committee and be brief, not repetitive, and related to the matter at hand. Before starting, please state your name, address, and affiliation to Lewiston Public Schools. Are there any members of the public that would like to speak on non-agenda items? Seeing none, we will move on to agenda item number 5, which is to receive Lewiston Public Schools recognitions.
So we have a number of recognitions tonight. We could ask Butler to come up. I'm going to share a recognition for middle school teacher and many other things, Jake Joy. And Pam, we had to take it away. I may add a couple things.
And what?
I may add a couple things.
Okay. So I have the pleasure of representing Lewiston Middle School as we honor Jake Joy this evening. He is a literacy ELL teacher at our building and has been with us for 6 years. And we have the pleasure of having him at the early beginnings of his career, and we hope to hang on to him for a very long time because he brings spirit and life, and he brings a joy of education and a joy of students, and students love him, and he shows leadership skills, and we are very lucky to have him at Lewiston Middle School and hope to have him for his entire educational career.
So just to add a couple of things, and I don't know if LEA President Jay Rich wants to say anything. She put this on our radar because very Jake Joy-like. He was recognized for leadership in education, but didn't necessarily want to be recognized for it. Just want to do the work. And the kind of teacher that he is, and how he believes in his students. I just saw him 10 minutes ago at the middle school baseball game because that's kind of how he is. He wants to make sure he's involved in the kids. And not just in the classroom, but who they are as people. So, Jay, do you want to add anything to that?
Sure, thank you. Jay Rich, Lewiston Education Association President. So I wanted to share that not only is Mr. Joy an exceptional educator of our students, but he also takes time during the summer and other breaks to host learning sessions for educators around the state. around multilingual and teaching multilingual students, which is one of the reasons he was named a finalist for the Distinguished Educator Award. Educators for these awards are nominated based on their commitment to student-centered learning, ability to inspire students of all backgrounds and abilities, provide leadership in the profession, and involvement in the community beyond the classroom. Mr. Joy exudes all of these qualities and so much more inside his classroom every day, where he creates a safe, nurturing, and fun learning atmosphere. Congratulations on being named a finalist, Jake. We're really proud of you.
Jake, can you come up? We have a certificate for you.
And if you want to say anything, you can do that too.
Oh,
No.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
So next up, another one that Jay may want to speak to, but also Principal John Radke, if you could please come up. John's going to share a little more detail about our becoming well-known librarian at the high school, Marissa Daco.
Good evening. I'm John Radke. I am the principal at Lewiston High School, and very pleased to say that our librarian, Marissa Daco, won the Walter J. Taranko Award, which is given by the Maine Association of School Libraries. Named in honor of Walter Taranko, the longtime coordinator of school library services at the Maine Department of Education. It's been presented since 1979. And the award honors certified librarians who've made a significant contribution to the profession on the local and the state level. Recipients must be certified librarians and are nominated by their colleagues, schools. And so, in recognition of her dedication to the students and staff of Lewiston High School and her outstanding service to Maine's school library community, the Maine Association of School Libraries is pleased to present Librarian of the Year to Marissa Daco.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
Congratulations.
Marissa shared off the mic that we got some books out of this, so she's very pleased with that. Next up, I would invite Director Liza McLemore to the podium. She's way back.
Yeah. All right.
Oh. Liza, are you back there? So next up, we're going to talk a little bit more about the seal of biliteracy, which is a credential that Liza can explain, I think, with a little more detail, but something for many years we have worked on. By we, I mean collective, and a really good push by our district leadership around multilingual learners. So I don't want to steal any of your pieces, so go ahead.
All right. So the Maine Seal of Biliteracy is something that the Maine Department of Education has offered since 2019. It is something that's offered nationwide. Almost every state has a Seal of Biliteracy, and it's for students who are graduating who have a high degree of skill in English and a language or multiple languages in addition to that. So as Jake said, for many years, we were trying to get it up and running here in Lewiston so that our Lewiston students could be recognized at the state and national level. Last year was our first year participating, and we had a handful of students who earned their Seal of Biliteracy. And our goal this year was to make it bigger and better. better. And I have to give kudos to Heather Garcia, my assistant director, and Siad Chalet, our community relations coordinator in the multilingual office, as well as Lucy Lantos and Rachel Moore at LHS, who really took all of our ideas and put them into play. We tested several students this year, and I'm really excited to share that we had a total of 15 seniors earn their seal of biliteracy, and we also tested juniors as well, who are eligible to earn their seal next year, so long as they remain on track to graduate. So it's 22 students total, which is an incredible honor. In order to demonstrate proficiency in their native language or languages, they have to participate in a pretty rigorous test, the ACTFL test, which measures their ability to speak, read, write, and communicate in another language. And it's scored by the company that organizes it. And so it's a big deal, and students have to opt into it. And so we're really excited. We invited some of those students to come join us this evening. Not everybody was able to make it, but we do have quite a few. So I will call their names and have them come up to be recognized. And if you have questions for them, I'm sure they would be happy to answer. So we have Juldilson Gola, who's an 11th grader. We have Kiala Sauka. Regina Passy. Karel Ningaza. Temra Abdurrahman. Moises Garcia. And Hawa Saeed, whose parents are here to be recognized. And I think that's it. As I said, there were several more, but these were the students who were able to join us tonight. The others were recognized at the LHS Night of Excellence, but we're really excited to share this accomplishment with you all as well.
Congratulations to each of you.
We had, I think, 3. My apologies. We will get those certificates to the students who came tonight. It's a long list and we had, I think, the wrong ones printed. My apologies.
Agenda item number 6 is to receive and potentially vote on a field trip request to LL Bean Discovery School in Freeport. And it looks like Tim Smith will present. There we go. Thank you.
My name's Tim Smith. I'm 33 years in the school department here in Lewiston. Currently a fourth grade teacher, site coordinator for 21st Century After School and Summer Program. The past couple of years, we've taken kids to Ella Bean Discovery School in Freeport. Here are some pictures of things that we do. We basically go in tandem kayaks and go out kind of like in the inlet. It's very shallow. Kids are trained ahead of time, have to wear the proper size life jackets, and they're trained by the staff of Ella Bean and assisted by us staff that go along with them about proper paddling strokes, safety, things like that. The water that we're in is no more than 5 feet deep. It's very safe. Any parent that's been a little nervous about it, I go out there personally. If you keep going, Austin, that's me taking a picture on the kayak with somebody else. We go out and they do like these little games going underneath the docks, and it's really safe. It's a lot of fun. Some of these kids do not get out of town that often, so it's nice to be able to get them out there and learn a new skill and something to look forward to. So we'd like to try to do it again.
Any questions or comments from the committee?
No, I'm just gonna say that I love that you do this every year. I think it's great. I've done it myself and it's a lot of fun and it is very safe. So I feel comfortable with this and I would like to make the motion to approve this field trip.
I'll second the motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Oh, sorry, Member Eames.
5 feet is over my head.
All in favor? It is unanimous.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Hey, Tim, while we have you here, and I don't have a certificate for you, but as we approach the end of the year, I want to thank you for not just your years of service, but what you do every day. We definitely notice it. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Agenda item number 7 is to receive and potentially vote on the LRTC field trip to Northern Italy.
And Becca is going to present tonight.
Oh, is it already on? Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Rebecca Levesque. I am the pastry instructor here at the Green Ladle, representing the team tonight. Tony was unable to join us, and Kelsey Poliquin. So, as I'm sure you've expected, I am here tonight to request a trip to Northern Italy again for 2025. I appreciate that you took the time a few weeks ago to hear about our amazing experience. The students that came with us just, I mean, couldn't say enough. It was an incredible time that we would like to do again with a new group of students next year. So it would be our second time taking students abroad. And we had a really positive experience working with the tour company EF. We also had a really excellent tour director when we were over there that we can request to have again. So that way we have that relationship established and know that he just went above and beyond accommodating any student needs. So we're very comfortable repeating that experience with him. And all the students that came back felt like it really was a worthwhile experience.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from school committee members? Member Gallant?
Yes, how long is how many nights and days are you away for?
It's a 12-day trip. So, and you'll see it's requested departure and return dates, because until the trip is booked, they don't confirm. It could be a day before or a day after our requested dates once they book.
Member Hurd?
Thank you. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the field trip request, just as long as you bring me back some of that bologna, whatever that was.
Yeah.
The bologna that's not bologna.
Yeah, mortadella.
Is there a second?
Second it.
And is there any further discussion? All in favor? It is unanimous.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you
Have
very
fun.
much.
Agenda item number 8 is to receive the Merge Cubes presentation Teach with Tech grant. And several people will be presenting.
Hi there. My name is Tammy Thibodeau. I'm the instructional specialist for technology and STEM for the district. And I'm very excited to be here to give you an update on the Teach with Tech grant that we got for this school year. This grant was provided to us by the Department of Education. And it was really aimed to provide professional development to teachers and also to provide us with some of our learning tools that we have there. I'm just going to hold on a quick sec. Nope, you're fine. You're fine. So we have the tools that we received. We received Sphero Indies, which I'll show you in just a moment here, Sphero Bolts and Merge Cubes. And our big push that we used this year was to provide professional development into kids' hands. The way that we did this professional development was in a bunch of different ways. We did after school hours, so that way we could try to get teachers engaged that way. We also did during choice sessions on the Wednesday PD days when they already had professional development built out. Teachers did, I have Angela, one of my tech coaches here. She did, some of them did specific ones like to the Sphero Indies. We also have Sphero Bolts. We have the Merge Cubes, which we're going to talk a bit more about today. They did specific ones. We also had some coaches that also did the technology playgrounds. So what they did was they took the gymnasium, they set up all the different tools, and then teachers could go from section to section and try each one of them out. They could see different ideas of how they could use them in their classroom, because sometimes you can look at an item and not really realize how you could use it. So they were able to see real life applications of how they could use this in their classroom. Teachers, the tech coaches also worked with teachers one-on-one to show them how they could use it in their classroom and brainstorm with them. Small groups, we did trainings, and then also through coaching cycles. Additionally, we purchased with the Teach with Tech grant, we purchased an additional set of each one of those, the Sphero Indies, the Bolts, and the Merge Cubes, so that teachers could borrow them. So they could borrow one, take it home with them, and really play with it, get comfortable with it. So when they took it in the classroom, they were very comfortable with it. So that's how we used that money that we got from that grant there. Teachers loved it. Students absolutely loved it. Teachers found that students were very much more engaged when they were using these. I think that the learning went up, which you're going to see in a few minutes with some students from the middle school that we had. So that's what I'm going to turn it over to now, because that's the fun. That's what you want to see here. So I have Angela Burke here, who's our technology coach at the middle school. I have Desiree Spalding, who's the gifted and talented teacher at the middle school. And then we have some students here that are going to share some of the stuff that they've done with the Merge Cubes this past third trimester, right?
Yes.
So this is Angela and Desiree.
Hello, good evening, members of the school board and school community out there on YouTube. My name is Angela Burke, and as Tammy said, I'm the instructional technology coach at the middle school. I'm very excited to be here and share with you some of the innovation and creativity and projects that our 8th grade students have been working on. This last trimester, I had the pleasure of working with Desiree Spalding and her 8th grade gifted and talented students. Well, they were working on the fascinating world of game theory and its application intertwined with all things in real world situations. And they were working with the engineer design process, which could also really be involved in any creativity, problem solving and critical thinking solutions. Students were asked they were making a game as part of their final project, and then they were asked to use these Merge Cubes here. Although it's technology, it's kind of soft and fun and durable. And they were asked to kind of incorporate that into their final projects and had a lot of flexibility on how they wanted to do that. Merge Cube is just sort of an AR augmented reality that allows students to interact with 3D objects and using the simple cube and a mobile device, iPads in this case. And it enhances their learning by making sort of abstract concepts tangible, interactive. This particular group used coding to make these projects kind of come to life. They worked hard to integrate their game theory principles into their final projects. And I'm excited to let you guys see some of what they accomplished. If you want to click, I just talked about the game theory and the engineering and design process, kind of working with brainstorming, planning, building, testing, and then iteration after iteration of what works and what doesn't. And then just so that our folks at home can kind of see a little bit of an example, because they won't be able to see what you guys get to see. Here's a couple
So
of
my
videos.
game is a motorcycle race board game where to use boost ups or sabotages to get to the finish line. One of the aspects in that game is trivia.
There was audio
So
when we
in my
tested
merge
it, but I'm
cube,
not
you
sure.
see that there's a lot of trivia statements and questions that have to be said.
Yeah,
For
so like
example,
this,
if I
for
were to say,
example,
what were the
student did a
first
game
motorcycles
with
called?
motocross
I'll also
racing,
say
and
A, right wagon, B,
the merge
motor
cube,
wagon,
it had a little bit of
C,
trivia with
velocipede,
it, and
D,
so the merge
moped.
cube, as you
And if I
watch
had to
the
choose
students
one,
sort of spin the
I have to
cube,
just aim the
the
blackboard
iPad
at
is
each of
viewing
these.
different
So I
questions,
have,
and so
let's say
the
this one.
user is able to click on the answer that they think it might be, and in this particular case, the student used
See, that's
a
right.
certain color to show if you got
And
it
if you
right,
click
and
here,
sound. There's like a yay sound effect if they get it
you can
right.
see that's
And
right.
then there's like a meh if you get it wrong, and you can see the color is red on the wrong answer. As you turn the cube, there's a different question on every side. There's a lot of different options that students can go with this, so it's really great to kind of see the different things that they've done. So you will get to kind of see and play this one. Yeah. That's okay. There's, again, like, this is something that they've done in a very, very short amount of time, so we're really excited at the middle school to, oh, here's the other one. We can maybe just start on that slide, to start, even earlier, and like all throughout the year, work with different.
Basically the shops inside of my mall game. And each little room is just one of the different shops that you will see, and it kind of just goes more in depth of like what you'll just see on the game that's like 2D. This is more of a 3D image of it.
Yeah. So without further ado, I'm going to let our students come and kind of integrate in the middle here and just sort of go around and show you guys their different projects.
Okay, so how about some names? Who do we have with us today?
Paige.
Paige, Ashley, Rian, Anissa, Braden. All right, thank you so much for coming to show us some of your technology here. Quick, way to learn about.
Oh, there we go.
So much more interactive than education.
Oh, there it is. It's like catching up.
They want to go with it.
So what is it that they?
Oh, it's a quiz.
Yeah, well, and I sort of explain it as like a three-dimensional UPC, like a QR code. Like,
Oh.
it's like our phone would scan a QR code. Kind of
Mr. Lang has got it wrong.
Similar to that.
And so that image, is it a different image on each one?
How did you decide what to choose to make for your game?
My game, that's all I need.
This is just gonna be like,
It's really not, but yeah, the patterns.
this is gonna be, there's gonna be two. It has like different facts about all these stuff.
Gotcha.
Head this way and. Yeah.
That would be too easy. See?
Too funny.
Oh, you gonna switch?
Okay.
Leave this here. I know, take it away.
So mine.
I have my microphone on so everybody can hear you.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so mine, was the one that was just in the video. That was kind of just like showing different shops in the mall. And you can kind of see, I kind of just like coded all of this and put it in there. There's one over here where like, oops, like people are kind of like talking to each other. So you kind of like code into emotions and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, look at that.
Oh.
And then there's, yeah, there's one over here where they're like shaking hands kind of. And it's kind of just a 3D image of my 2D game.
Fantastic.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what do you got? Come right over here, Kim. So we can all see it.
Oh, okay. So, my game is like, the game I did for my final trimester, it was like, medieval themed. So like the game board, what you have to do to like get to, like this knight right here, it's like there's 4 knights, that are the playing pieces like throughout the game, and they're trying to get like the castle right center of the game. And they have to go through 4 rings and answer like questions throughout the game of like different levels. And that's how like they win the game. And there's also a point system, but like the way I use the merge cube to like show an element of my game is like, the knight is trying to look for the castle, and like when you bring this certain closer to the knight and you press on it, it says that knight says that.
Okay.
So he's like looking for the castle,
But
and
he's lost.
yeah, and like it shows like the difficulty that the knights have to go through, or the players have to go through to like win the game.
That's really cool. I like that.
So the castle's over here. Yeah. That's so cool. That whole head thing.
It's kind of like this cute
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So neat.
So the program, like any program that
So the next stage of that would be to building pieces so that it could find its own way. All right, I like it.
But then you can.
How hard was it?
Something else.
Yeah,
With the
it
same.
wasn't too hard, but I did work on it. Like,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. What was the hardest part? The coding I think
Or
like,
coming up with the idea.
I think like, you see like the green sides that I put on like the square.
Yep.
You have to like scale them to the sides. And it was kind of hard doing that.
Mm,
And you have to like get it just right.
yes.
And I also the castle is fine.
That's the part that I.
Wait, say it again.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
You guys have any more questions?
Think so.
That's great.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us tonight. Did anybody have any questions or anything? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. That was really neat. I liked that.
Great job.
Great job.
Agenda item number 9 is to receive an update on the state initiative for naloxone training, and Lisa Escobar will present.
Come on up, Lisa. So just as a kind of a precursor, we had talked about this in the fall. There was a shift in some language in law, and we were trying to figure out what the rulemaking from the state would be and how that would be rolled out. So Lisa's going to give us an update on that, maybe just a little bit more.
Okay, good. So my name is Lisa Escobar, and I am a substance use clinician and prevention coordinator for Lewiston Public Schools. Some of you may remember I was here last year around September requesting that we put this on the agenda because it hadn't yet come to law, but I knew that it was coming. Since then, it has been made into law, but the whole reason that I presented in the first place was because I was seeing a lot of students who are using, who are at risk of and using opiates, but several who had parents or other caregivers at home who were also using and could benefit from naloxone. So since then, like I said, it has been made into law that public schools distribute and provide training to secondary students. So we have been working really hard on that. What we've done is we've worked with Maine General, who is a tier 1, to become a tier 2 provider. So we are now a tier 2 provider, which means that we can distribute naloxone to our students. We have a standing order from a doctor. We look to start doing that in the fall. We've started training some of our staff at this point. And I know there's going to be a lot of questions.
Any questions or comments from the committee? Member Eames.
I did have some naloxone training and it was really important and serious, and it's not just nothing. It is real information that one needs. So I'm really happy it's happening. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Member Gallant.
Yes, did I read somewhere there was AED
Yes, thank
training
you.
as well?
Yep, so part of chapter 41 also is that the public school system provide AED and CPR training to students. And we're working with nursing staff on doing that and implementing that.
Member Hurd.
Thank you. So I think this is great because I think our community definitely is at risk. I'm assuming where it's required, is there some sort of grant Fed pays for it? Like, how is that?
It's all covered by the state, by opiate settlement funds.
We have some employee costs for training. And I would say while Lisa would, she's never asked for anything, has put in a lot of time into coordinating this effort and understanding the laws and working with Maine General to be a tier 2. So kind of a public, not kind of, but a public kudos to Lisa for really pursuing this, because I think without her, we would still be trying to figure this out in the fall instead of being ready to roll. And so we're really pleased with the work she's put in to help make this happen.
Member Gallant.
Yes. So is there a policy that has been developed, or is that?
Yes, absolutely. And the policy, I think Jake is in the process of being.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been given sample language for policy, and the big question right now is, should we make it a policy or not, because it's state law? And the secondary piece is grades 7 through 12. For those wondering about elementary, it's not available at that level. But in 7 through 12, students could request it, and we'll have trained staff. And part of the things that we had to figure out, like logistics, following the care criteria to be a tier 2 site of, well, where will these be? How will they be stored? We've also, Lisa has shared ideas now to have, boxes, naloxone boxes that are, I'm using the wrong term.
Yes. I forget what they're called too, but they're boxes similar to an AED that you can put.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the ideas is, at the secondary level, looking at where are AEDs placed, and next to that, could there be naloxone? I don't want to do the training now, but it's not dangerous to use.
Okay.
And so we could have guests, we could have a custodian touch something, they don't know what happened, but they're having a response. There's lots of scenarios that are beyond maybe someone who's using, where people can come in contact with something that they might need assistance with. So we're exploring what that might be, what things are part of the grants, and Lisa's already started looking up other ways to support that effort. Wanted to make sure we had it in front of you as an update, but also to have a conversation about what could be next.
I mean, the reality is we are losing kids. We are losing kids to drug use and violence and substance use disorder. Substance use does not discriminate. Anyone is subject to being at risk.
Member Heard?
I just have a clarifying question. So this will be available in our schools, but also like if a child comes in requests that to take home, I'm just trying to like figure out like what we're doing.
So we are only distributing within our school system, but so are you asking if a child like comes to someone and says, hey, or someone who is training and says, hey, I have a parent at home who, yes, absolutely, we would train them and provide them with naloxone.
Member McLaughlin?
I think that may have been the answer, but so this is only available upon request, the naloxone?
Yes, because they have to be trained and we have to keep track of what's coming in and what's going out, and we have to report to Maine General each month.
Okay.
So each school is going to have a designated person who's going to be the naloxone trainer. In the elementary schools, they'll be training their staff. So they'll report out, you know, what staff they've trained and how much they've distributed. Within the secondary schools, for the high school, it's going to be myself and the school nurse. We are going to be the trainers. And one of us, we haven't decided who yet, is going to be keeping track of what gets delivered to Maine General each month. And the same with the middle school. There'll be one designated person to keep track.
So like a student would just make the request to some staff member who has
Yep.
that. Okay.
And also we're going to be providing the trainings. We're not sure what those are going to look like yet. We were thinking, I actually met with Karen today, and we were thinking maybe some after school programming. Maybe during school, but we'd have to be really mindful of that.
All right, thank you.
So one model could look like, a series of announcements with multiple opportunities to go get the training to understand what it is. And then if you've been trained in that session and you feel like it would be beneficial for you to have it on you, we would try to arrange for them to be able to take that with them once they're trained, but also to try to spread the word even through students or some signage in the schools that if you have this kind of concern and you want access to this, you can be trained and have a process for drop-ins or numerous after-school things. It is optional, but we want to make sure we're sharing the word so that people have access.
And everything is like very formal. Like I said, we have the MOU, we have the standing order, we're reporting. So it's very, very well thought out.
Since it's law that it has to be provided, offered from 7 to 12, but it's not law for elementary school, do we have to have a vote? Do we have to have a policy? What do we have to do to make this available at the elementary level also? Because that's important as well.
That comes from the state. That's where we need the state backing.
So we
Because
can't
here,
decide on our own as a district
Yeah.
to offer it at the elementary level?
Yeah, I think we could. I mean, I don't know how to answer that question, but I think we could. And it's not mandated. So this training is not mandated. So students do not have to take it. It's just that we have to offer it.
I think exploring what levels is fine. In this process, we are trying to teach staff who are willing to be trained staff who's willing to be trained, who can also have it distributed to them.
Is it in the nurse's office or anywhere else at the elementary level?
So right now, not yet, but that's part of the thinking of how to make it more available.
We did get the elementary school nurses trained a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, good.
Yep. So they will be, when we get our distribution in the fall, they will get the same.
And those boxes that you were talking about, when that alarm goes off, that is terrifyingly loud. It is not like a regular school alarm. It
Mhm.
will make you cry. It is so painfully loud.
Really?
Yes. Any other questions or comments? Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Agenda item number 10, to receive and potentially vote on the COPS grant update.
All right, so I'm happy to jump in about this. So for members that remember the last term, you'll remember that I came to get approval to submit for this grant. It's the school Violence Protection Program, which is grants up to $500,000 to the federal government through the Department of Justice. This grant we would be using to update and bring in line all of our access control and camera stuff. So that's what we would be going after for this. Mark, our IT director, who's here, has done some pre-work with this one, and we're feeling like we're going to be a little more competitive than we did last year when we applied. Last year when we applied, it was a quick turnaround because we had found out about it late. So we're feeling like we're a little bit more prepared this time around, and so we're just seeking approval to be able to move forward with it.
Questions, comments, or a motion? Member Hurd?
I'd like to make a motion to approve you submitting the grant.
Is there a second? Seconded by Member Charpentier. Any further discussion? Member Gallant?
Yeah, I just have a question. So the grant you got last year was for the bathroom?
We didn't get it. We didn't get the. grant
Oh,
this year.
oh, okay.
No, so.
Okay, so this is not the same thing as what they were using in the bathroom?
So the bathrooms and stuff, that's what we did in January when we had moved some LCIP
Oh,
funds to
okay.
put the sensors into the bathroom. This is a continuation, but also when we were doing some of that pre-work with or some of that work with the access controls and with the cameras, we were on different systems. So essentially what we're looking to do is secure some grant funding to get all those systems the same. So one school you don't have to go into one school to change the door access controls versus
okay.
another school.
Thank-
Yep.
Any other discussion? All in favor? It is unanimous.
All right, did well because Megan didn't have any other questions.
Jake said he wanted to get out of here. Talking.
I didn't plant that either, Jake.
Thanks, Bill, for your time.
Agenda item number 11, to discuss, select, and potentially vote on a Maine School Board Association delegate.
So just briefly, this starts up in the fall, but I know that at least Chair Parks and I got a notice that it's time to submit who our delegate will be. In the past, it's been Elizabeth, who has attended numerous sessions and at least from my perspective, brought back good information. And I think she's willing to do that again unless someone else is very interested. But I think we can also have an alternate if people wish.
No one asked me, but I am willing to continue.
Member Bowden?
I was just gonna say I nominate Member Eames for this position.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Agenda item number 12, to review and potentially vote on the first read for policies listed as A through H. Are there any questions for the Assistant Superintendent? Member Gallant?
It's probably a silly question, but in number G, Lewiston Middle School academic eligibility, habits of work is stated. Is that like homework? What are habits of work?
So habits of work are, it separates sort of the academic or the content from a student's behavior, timeliness, being respectful, being responsible, being safe. So behaviors, but also work habits, turning in your homework, that sort of thing. And I'll just add with the two eligibility policies, so you brought up the middle school and the high school as well, they were very outdated. And what is reflected in these first drafts are in alignment with what we've actually been doing for the last few years. So it's what's been happening. It's not anything different. It's just updating our policy to match what's been happening.
Member Hurd?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the first read of policies listed A through H.
Thank you. Seconded by Member Bowden. Member Charpentier, did you have your hand up for a comment or? Nope, okay. Oh, sorry, okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? The first read passes unanimously. Agenda item number 13, to review and potentially vote on the deletion of the following policies listed as A through G. Any questions, comments, member Hurd?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the deletion of the following policies A through G.
Seconded by member Bowden. Any further discussion? All in favor? Also unanimous. Agenda item 14, to report from school committee chair. The adult ed graduation is tomorrow night, and that is, all school committee members are invited to go, and the members of the public are also invited. So if that's something that you're interested in attending, that's a great event. The Kennedy Park Pool opens on June 25th. In the mornings, it will be open for nonprofits in the community who want to take students, who are participating in summer programming. And then from noon to 5, it'll be open for all kids in the community, open swim. And parents can pre-register their kids online now at the Lewiston Rec website if they want their children to participate in that at any point this summer. Agenda item 15 is report from the superintendent.
Just looking for people to spread the word to get the vote out. Again, very respectful to the folks that also voted at the last referendum. Obviously, there's some changes, and we're going to start messaging out to folks and just spreading the word that there's a school budget referendum on the 11th of June. And we are obviously hopeful that will pass. If it does not, I do worry about the types of reductions that will impact families directly. And so we'll get the word out so people know what it is we're asking for in this budget, and hopeful that we don't have to make further reductions that will, again, I think negatively impact our community. So please get out and vote.
Thank you. Agenda item 16 is report from our city council rep.
I don't have a whole lot to report today. We're meeting tomorrow night. We have a workshop on reviewing the homeless shelter overlay district to talk about potentially changing the boundaries of that, where new shelters can be built in the city. And then we're also discussing the ad hoc committee that is tasked with figuring out how to set up a homeless shelter. And those are the big things we're working on right now.
Thank you. Agenda item 17, updates from any subcommittees. I see a lot of head shaking, so that would be a no. Item 18, community announcements. Councilor Harriman.
I just wanted to put in a plug for this week is Pride Week in Lewiston, Auburn. You can look at greatfallspride.org and see the various events that are going on. There was a great march yesterday, and there are several events happening all week long. So greatfallspride.org.
Member Eames.
Healthy Neighborhoods is again having a bulky waste event in the tree streets Friday and Saturday. So the 6th and the 7th, I think it is, or 7th and the 8th, whatever the Friday and Saturday is. So please, if you're in the tree streets and have any bulky waste, you can get them to come to your house to collect it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other community announcements? Agenda item number 19, future agenda items. Nope. Agenda item number 20, to enter into executive session to conduct student A disciplinary hearing, Title 20A 10019 and Title 14056B. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by member Hurd, seconded by member Bowden. All in favor? It's unanimous. School committee is in